is your 12:05 panel, ETH Women, Founders and Leadership. We're going to call to the stage my good and new friend from Crypto Mondays Toronto, Audrey Nesbitt. She's moderating. She's the CMO of Spirit Blockchain Capital, and she's a global Web3 marketing advisor with Invincible GG. I want to also welcome up to the stage my good friend, Kyleigha Beckmann. She's here in the crowd. She's the founding partner of ZDKL Coin and PTT Blockchain. We're also going to welcome to the stage Emma Todd, CEO of MMH Technology Group. Do we have Maggie Zhu in the, there we go, come on up, Maggie. Maggie, she's the VP of Partnerships and Ecosystem on Chain X Labs. And Elena, are you here in the room? I think we have you, Elena. She's not only in the room, she's on the stage. She's the co-founder of Crypto Chicks and Metis. I'm so happy to see you again. I don't know how I missed that red suit. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your ETH Women Panel, The Weight of the Crown. What is reality like to be the boss? Welcome them to the stage.
Hi everyone and welcome. So yes, my name is Audrey Nesbitt and I am an OG actually with this woman here. I came in the space through this beautiful woman to my right. I'm gonna let everybody introduce themselves, starting with Elena.
Thank you. My name is Elena Sinelnikova. I'm co-founder of Metis and Crypto Chicks as well. So I've been in the space since 2016.
Hi, my name is Kyleigha Beckmann. It's a pleasure to be here with all of you. Amazing, powerful woman. Wow, I'm fairly new to the industry. It's been about 4 years that we've been working on our project, and we are launching today here at Futurist. ZDKL Coin, Peace Through Trade Blockchain. There's a lot behind it, it's a big production, so come and visit us down at the booth and we can give you the download.
Hi all, my name is Emma Todd. I am the CEO of MMH Technology Group. I have been in the space for almost 10 years. I know, nine-ish. We're gonna bring that back down, 9. And I'm always happy to come to Tracy's events and see my friends and see Maggie and see Elena. It's been years, man, woo! And I absolutely love, being from Toronto, and I'm so happy that this event is going so well and to see so many lovely people in this room right now. Thank you all.
Hello everyone. So my name is Maggie and I absolutely echo everything Emma just said, which is this room is really nice. This is about empowering ladies in the space, which you could find yourself as, kind of feeling rare. I'm a lawyer turned VP of partnerships and growth. And yeah, there's a lot to uncover here.
All right, so if you were here for the earlier panels, some of the statistics brought up were how successful women-led companies actually are. They exit higher, they're more successful, yet we need more of them. So obviously there's a reason. So I've worked with some of the women on this panel, and my question we're gonna start with, because behind the technology are human beings. So it doesn't matter what tech you're talking about. We're talking about we have to work with humans. And company culture, I think, makes or breaks a successful company. So I want to hear from these wonderful leaders on the panel. How do you approach company culture, and how do you consciously empower, encourage, or make sure you have a good company culture?
First of all, it's a deep understanding of what exactly I want. What culture do I want? And laying it down on the paper and presenting it to the team or to the people that you're trying to hire, and see who actually is on, who has buy-in into that culture, because not everyone will. But you need the team that everyone is adhered to your culture, to your vision, how you see things. And then it's easier. You just maintaining it, just supporting it, and you're talking to people every day because it's all about people.
Absolutely, it's values and visions aligned. Lay those out very clear. Another very important aspect of being a leader and creating a corporate culture is being positive. And always looking at the cup being half full and not half empty, looking at how far we've come and not how far we have to go. And having that positive outlook and positive leadership I find extremely important in leading a company and anybody in the business. So.
For me, company culture is extremely important. That's one of the things I think as CEO that many of the ladies here, we've learned the hard way. So when I first started my company, it was a company of just me. And then as I got more successful, I expanded. And as you expand, you need more people. And then you quickly come to realize that not everyone has the same values, work ethic, ethos as you. And then it suddenly becomes very, very important. And as a result, sometimes you have to make shifts on the team that you wish that you hadn't have done, you wouldn't have had to have done if you had simply thought about the company culture in the beginning. So it's one of those things where I learn from my mistakes. Then now when I hire people, I make sure that, here's what we are about. Here's what we're going to be doing. Here's the kind of work ethic I expect. Here's what we, you have to look at your people's values. And is this something that you can be aligned with? If yes, then we can definitely continue our conversations. If not, then perhaps something else is probably best aligned for that person.
So I was managing a team of about 30 people, and a lot of it are, designers, developers, and the culture was getting very much of here's a deadline and you have to finish all of these. We were running 2-week sprints, basically. How many people in the room are kind of working with product teams? Maybe a few? Okay. So it became something where I can tell everyone in the company look like they're very tired. And so what we did is we actually implemented this thing called play into our company culture, which is every Friday we have a team meeting. And during the team meeting, we have a little yoga workshop. Everyone stand in a circle, do some stretches. And then we have a presentation in terms of okay, here's kind of the win for that week for the company. And that really shifted, in terms of people's motivation and in terms of their happiness, instead of just hey, I have to finish all of these tasks that's on my computer. Now it's a matter of, I want to finish it because I want to demo it at our Friday group meeting and show other people what I've created. So I think that little shift really changes the company culture. And I think having, I echo something that was said, I think by Elena, which is having it's almost like a manifesto of here's the values that we really resonate. Don't make it too long. I think 10 is probably the max. And have it on a company wall. Out of sight, out of mind. If people see it all the time, they're going to know, okay, maybe this company is, we really respect honesty. We like having fun. These are the values that we hold. And I think the more people see it, especially for new hires, you're going to really resonate. And that's going to become the culture of your company.
Thank you. That's great. One of the jokes I like to tell is one of my biggest fears is failure, and I don't know why I'm so afraid of it because I'm just so good at it. So I want to talk about risk-taking and failure. And can you share a time failure taught you an important lesson, and how did that empower you to change or do something different or pivot? We can start with Elena again.
Thank you. Without a failure, you don't know what success is. It's very simple. How do you know if you succeeded if you didn't fail? So the whole path may seem like a failure, and then success, maybe. Yes, but it is just a part of the process. With every failure, it is a lesson. So it just depends how you take it. I take it as a lesson. Before, I was getting upset. But now I said oh my God, it was just an expensive lesson that I couldn't have gotten anywhere else. So yes, so that part, my first failure was actually losing at Crypto Chicks at the very first conference that we put together. I lost 2 team members, very loyal ones, because I let go of my emotions. And it's a very normal thing to do, but since then I learned that I have to express my emotion in a very ecological way. If we go to the washroom, we don't go it right away there. We go to the washroom. So yes, it's same with emotions. And that was a very valuable lesson. And I learned it at the very beginning of my career as a leader. So failures are great.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that. Your relationship with failure is going to frame how you look forward in those lessons. Are you going to take the gold from that failure and let it carry you forward into success, or are you going to become paralyzed in fear and then, lose your grounding and your way? So, yeah, learning from failure is the best way to learn, really. It's the hard knocks of life. You don't learn these things in university. You learn it by doing it, especially in the blockchain industry. It's a new industry. There's new ways things are being done, and you just learn by doing. So I don't actually have any failures in this industry because we're just launching now. Thank God. But we could have launched 2 years ago and been cracked down by the SEC. We've been very calculated in how we roll out what we're doing, and we're very blessed in that we're incubated with a university group, and we're making decisions from a very, I want to say, high level overlook at the industry. So. We have excellent guidance and wonderful legal team, and so that really has carried this project, I feel, and will carry it to success. Thank you.
I love that story because I remember when I was just so optimistic about life. I'm a little bit more beaten down these days, but it's okay.
Come back.
It's okay, right? But no, for me, I don't know if it's so much as failure as more of a failure pivot. So we all remember the pandemic. It's hard to believe that was 5 years ago. But I had a really great business. We were doing events, and it was the halving. The halving was going to be in 2000 May. And I put down a bet. I'm like, we're all going to be in New York for consensus. I think it's going to be this time, that time. I put down a lot of money to rent out this entire steakhouse. A lot of money, and then the pandemic hit, and I don't know if you all recall, nobody was going to New York because New York just didn't have their shit together, and everybody was just dying over there. And I lost like $100,000 in one day. And I lay on the floor, and I was like, holy shit. And then I was like, but you gotta get up. I'm not, this isn't a metaphor, I was literally on the floor. I was like, you gotta get up, you gotta figure this out, you have to get up, because when it's you, it's okay, but when you have a team, and they have mortgages and things like that, suddenly this becomes very, very real. I picked myself up, I did a pivot. I pivoted into equipment in mining because that's where I was before, and then we did well. And I remember my third transaction, it was $1 million transaction, and I had to call my friend Amber. Is she here? There she is. Amber, do you remember when I called you and you metaphorically held my hand while I pressed send? Because I was like, I am freaking out right now. This better do well. Do you remember that? I'm not even exaggerating. And then we did well. And then 6 months later, she held my hand again when I fucked up and lost $1 million. But then I made that money back. And you go through these failures and you learn things. And I'm a lot smarter and wiser for these things, and we're doing very well now, and I'm pretty grateful for these lessons. I wish I didn't have to learn them, but I'm grateful for them because they got me to a really great place right now.
Okay, I want to publicly share a failure I had as an entrepreneur. I co-founded this social platform. So this is back in 2020. Who was around since 2020? Okay, I would say half the room. So this is when NFTs were really hot. And so we were building almost like an Instagram, but where every picture is basically an NFT. So the artists, we're working with a lot of artists, musicians, we're like, okay, if they, instead of just selling it to the salon takes, half of their profit, they can just share their image on this platform. Their users, their fan base can buy it. When the picture goes up in price, the fans can win as well. It sounded really good in our head, right? It's like a win-win situation. So we were like heads down building the product, and this is kind of my first time working with a product team that's outside of the company because we're a startup, and there's a lot of challenges on how to do it. So like we were really focused on the whole user experience, make sure everything is good. What we did not notice is watch out for the macro environment. So for those of you who were in a space in 2020, you probably know the market shifted very fast. Like the entire NFT market basically tanked, like in a span of a few weeks. And yeah, like, so we had our product like basically almost ready. We're waiting for the Apple App Store to go and give our approval, and then everything happened. Anyway, so long story short, I think my learning from that is it's great when you're working hard and you're just like hats down working your product, your baby, but also really talk to the market. Like make sure that you have that external connection as well, and just like always pulse check yourself. And I think having a board of, you know, advisors that can really give you that neutral stance instead of just like a group of, you know, the people in a team that's just like working in our own head. So yeah, so that was a big failure for me. But I think I echo what everyone has said on this panel, which is if you don't fail, it means you're not growing. Like failure means that we're trying something new, and sometimes we win, sometimes we fail, that's okay, but at least we're making progress. And I think that really is just the mark of us growing up and adulting. So, yeah.
So one of the things that I've noticed in all my experience and what prevents companies from succeeding is when small companies become big companies, leaders aren't willing to let go of control, right? They have to realize they can't keep doing everything. And so to me, part of the talent is now you have to bring in leaders and you have to let them lead. And I've come across a lot of micromanagers who not only kill that, and then that kills company culture, right? So I've worked with some of the women in this room. Lisa Loud's one of them, Elena's another one, and they're very good at cultivating leaders. So my question to the panel is, when you are growing your companies, realizing you have to start letting go of control, what qualities or what process did you go through to start bringing in those people? What qualities did you look for? Maybe there was somebody specific and they went off because they became such a great leader.
Yeah, for me, the first quality, and this first foremost, and it's a must, is the honesty. And you know, honesty is not easy, and you cannot see it right away. From the words, the person is so great, but you have to see for like 6 months, even sometime a year, even sometimes few years, to discover the traits that this violates the trust. If there's no trust, there's nothing. So if the trust is violated once, that for me is an indicator I cannot work with this person anymore, unfortunately, no matter how much I actually invested into that. And this is very, 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 very painful. And the second quality, and I think that I will only stop on a 2, is learning from mistakes. Because, yeah, we just talked about the failures, and they are very expensive lessons. But when you're running a business, you cannot afford more than probably, 2 very expensive lessons at the time. So yes, if you have a leader that is not learning from his own mistake and made the same mistake twice, is another indicator that probably, you have to let them go. And that is very, again, this is really, 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 really painful. And maybe on the point of as well, leading a startup versus leading a big organization. These are completely different skill sets. So sometimes you grow in a leader that leads startup really well, but they are not a good fit for the big organization. You need a specialist, like different skill set for that.
I want to make sure I answer the question. Can you repeat it one more time?
Just about, when you start bringing in other leaders and realizing you have to let go of some of the control because you can't keep doing it all while you're scaling up.
Yes, I agree with that. And at the same time, I think it's, our leadership team is already divided for ourselves. So we have 3 main founders, and all 3 of us, I want to say, have our unique superpower, and we take charge of each angle of the business. So I think that's how we've been able to really corner in each angle of the business and have oversight and making sure that each part of the business is following in an alignment with what we're trying to achieve, and that's how we've run our organizations. We do like to hire bosses, meaning people that can do the job better than ourselves, and that we're not having to micromanage anybody, and we're bringing on superstars that are going to do amazing work, and bring so much value. It's undeniable and amazing to have them on the team. It uplifts everybody, and we just run, and we very successful, in that way we can get to where we want to be. So that's how we run our organization. We don't even give ourselves titles. I know that's not really conventional. We're founding partners, and we'll hire a CEO maybe, or a president, or a treasury advisor, and that's just how we're operating. So, yeah.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
I'm going to follow up with you in 6 months. I want to see how this is going.
Yes. I mean, it's been 4 years.
Yeah.
It's been 4 years. It's been great.
No titles for anyone?
Not the leadership team, no.
Okay, all right, that's different then, but okay.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. So for me, it's been really interesting. As you grow, you need to expand. I mentioned that before. But as you expand, I find that we had so much work coming in with us that I had to make sure I had a really good team. Initially, you're like, it's your baby. Hi. Hi, friend. Anyway, sorry. Also, hi, Lisa. Anyway, as I was growing, I found that I had really good clients, and I want to make sure they got the best. And you really want to, make sure they get you're there and you're helping them. I'm too busy, I can't. So I hired a really good team, and they're giving them the help that they need, everything that they need, and I just let them go out and do it. I don't have time to micromanage them. I hired them for a reason. I'm trusting that they can do the job, and that's why they're there. And so far, they've been really, really great. And I reward them by giving them a really good bonus. And they get monthly bonuses depending. So, because I want to keep them, because I know everyone knows how good they are. So I got to keep them, right? I can't wait for a year.
I'm going to take a different angle, because I feel like oftentimes, if you want to hire people on a payroll, it can get very expensive. And you constantly have to think about, okay, what is my fixed cost almost. So I think another way of working with really good, talented people is just have them as contractors, or just work in more of a collaborative partnership kind of relationship. So I think, so for example, if you're offering consulting services or advisory, along that line, there might be something, every single token project will need someone who knows token economics, someone who knows, go-to-market strategies, someone who's good with legal and compliance, someone who is great with just general, marketing, PR, getting them community built. These are basically something every single crypto project need. And so look at where your specialty is, and maybe find other people who are in the other specialties, and you guys can join force. I feel like a lot of it is really about, do I like this person? Do I trust this person at the end of the day? So long that personal relationship and trust is already there, and you know that you're doing good work, and you are complementary, then I think that's another great way of okay, it's not too much stress to you, because it's not a huge payroll, but at the same time, you can offer really great services by joining forces.
All right, so we have to wrap up. Our time is up. So everybody, starting with Maggie, how to get in touch with you and how to engage?
So I'm just Maggi, last name XU. You can find me on LinkedIn. I'm going to start doing more on YouTube as well, but LinkedIn and my website just maggiezhu.com. Easy. Okay.
I'm easy to find on LinkedIn, just Emma Todd. I'm addicted to LinkedIn, so you'll find me there. Everything else, Gazelle manages. Everyone needs a really good marketing person like Gazelle. She manages, she keeps me in line. But really, if you want to get a hold of me fairly quickly, LinkedIn, Emma Todd.
Same. LinkedIn is great. You can also go to our website, zdkl.online, and you can see our contact information there.
And you can take a picture from there. I have the same picture on LinkedIn. Helena. Yes, and I'm right now gathering a community of women, future leaders in ethical AI, because blockchain is the perfect space for that. So I would like you to contact me if you are interested in ethical AI.
All right, and I'm Audrey Nesbitt, and you can also find me on LinkedIn and on X. All right, thank you so much to these amazing women. Give it a round of applause for these CEOs, trendsetters right here. Yeah. Woo!
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
Selfie time.
Selfie time, selfie time. Selfie time and room switch over. Ladies and gentlemen, one more round of applause for Audrey Nesbitt, your moderator of the panel, which was awesome. Thank you so much, Audrey, for being here.